Hi, friends, and welcome to another episode of my podcast. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to Natvienna. I met Natvienna through my teacher. You might remember I've been studying nervous system regulation, somatic work with him since the beginning of the year, and I've mentioned it in a few previous episodes. Natvienna is actually his wife, and while they're doing similar jobs, she has her own unique and powerful approach. And I had the chance to do some session with her myself, and they were truly powerful and transformative. So that's why I knew I had to invite her on the podcast to share her story and the work she does and the wisdom that she carries. In this episode, we also do a short live mini session so you can get a feel for what this kind of work looks like in real time. And my hope is that it gives you a better sense of how it works and the potential that it holds. So this is just an introduction, but yeah, this is our episode. Hope you enjoy it. Natvienna, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
So we were having some technology issues, but we're here now, so we should be okay. We were chatting a little bit earlier.
Thank you, technology, for working.
Exactly. So, yeah, I really wanted to have you on my podcast because, I've been working with your husband for a few months now, and you do similar work in a different way. But I really resonated with the times that, I was able to work with you, even if for 15 minutes or something. And so we connected, and yeah, I invited you here. So I'm so happy that you accepted. And we had a chat already, and I think your story can be very inspiring for people. So as I often start my podcast, I would love to hear a little bit of your story, and I'm sure my audience will like that too.
Beautiful. Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, we were talking earlier when we met about growing up with these animals that have been basically in my life, my whole life. I've had so many different animals, and one really special friend that I had growing up was a cat. I got her when I was 8, and she was this most special little being, and she would walk me to school, and then I would go to school and I would come back and she would sit like it was like a big road between the school and where I was living, and she would always stay on the other side of the road, and she would just be there waiting for me when I was coming back, and we would walk home together. And so we had such a beautiful, sweet relationship. And she was basically, one of my really deep companions and caregivers growing up. She was really teaching me, the landscapes of the earth and the connection with plants and walking through the forests. And she was not really a cat, actually, when I think about it. I mean, she was very cat, but it's not typical cat behavior. But I did hear that you also had a very similar experience.
And I was thinking now that it's crazy that I got my cat, her name was Stella, when I was 8 as well. So same time. Yeah. And very, very similar experience for me. And because I didn't have any siblings also, for me, it was really my friend, was my friend. And I was learning so much from her. So I really resonate with what you're saying. Even just understanding what to do if there is a storm, where to go, like, or understanding that if she was moving somewhere is because something else was happening at some point. So really try to learn from her as much as possible. And my husband always makes fun of me because he says that I'm a cat. I still do the move, like pretending to wash my face like that. So definitely it's coming from her.
Oh, we have so many similarities. I love it. I also have that a little bit.
I mean, I think it's inevitable if you grow up with cats and you spend so much
Yes.
time with them, like you learn also what they do. Yeah. And you start doing
Mm-hmm.
it.
Definitely. Yeah, my cat was one of those really great comforts because I really struggled to sleep when I was little, and she would always curl up. So like in the work that I'm doing, where we often give contact to places that kind of feel a little bit alone or need extra contact, she would always find exactly the place where my body needed contact. So she would curl up on my shoulder, or she would lie on my head, or she would lie on my belly, or between my legs. She was so attuned to exactly what I needed in the moment.
Beautiful. I remember when I was sick, specifically if I had fever or something or a cold, I know also my cat was coming to me because she felt that I needed some sort of healing or support. So I think they really feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So were you aware that you were communicating with the cat, or it was just a bond and a kind of attunement?
I wouldn't say that I was aware of it back then. I did have experiences that other children didn't have, where I used to, hear the plants or other little insects and things, and everyone kind of went, "No, that's not real. That's You're just making that up." And obviously now in my adult years, I know that that was real and that that was actually happening. But I wouldn't have been able to put words to it in the way that I can put words to it today. And it's like it was really strong growing up, and then it almost felt like it went underground when I started high school, and you're going through that experience, or I went through it anyways, of trying to kind of fit into society and that whole thing. And then I think maybe when I was 25 again, I really started to hear again, and it was through an experience with my dog. Actually, she was 6 years old, and for various reasons, I had to replace her or rehome her. And she had very difficulties with other dogs. She was very scared of other dogs. But this beautiful farm, she got to live there, and I came to visit 1 year later. And the first thing that happens as I arrive on that farm is she comes running with two other dogs. And she says, "Don't be scared. They're my friends." And I'm like, "What?" And I hear it so clearly, just like images and words that arrive in my being. And it was the most beautiful experience. And after that moment, it slowly started to come back again. And being here in South Africa, the connection with the land and with the animals, the plants, has just continued to blossom and blossom, because I think this particular land, it holds so much aliveness.
Totally. I can imagine. I I can feel the difference between one country to another, or one area in the country to another. And like where I am here in Italy, for example, is really beautiful, but I feel nature is not as strong, is not as present. Um, while when I'm in America, in Oregon, actually, I feel really nature super present, is stronger for some reason. So I don't know exactly the reason, but I can imagine that in a place like South Africa, it kind of, maybe it's easier to connect with nature than other places.
Yeah, I think also because those practices of connecting with the land has never really disappeared here. It's still a very strong thing in the culture where people actually go to nature and do prayers and connect. And so it's still very in the culture. And so I think that's also a big reason that nature is so available here.
Yeah, totally. And in the Western world is quite lost. And I remember, for example, when I was a kid, and I told you this before, I was sitting down in my backyard for hours and having a conversation with the tree that was my neighbor's tree. But because nobody ever told me there was a possibility that you can actually communicate with trees, I just thought it was all in my mind. But now looking back, like it could have been also imagination or something. People would have said that, but for hours I was there, like connecting with the tree and really almost chatting with with it. And then I completely lost it. And then when you came to one of our calls, and I think your husband, Gabriel, which is the same name as my husband, so it's confusing, um, uh, was telling the story that you were communicating with trees. There were some alien trees that didn't feel like they belonged to the land, that you were helping them feeling, part of it again. I started to sob like crazy. I said, what's going on? And I think because it's that longing that I was feeling, and something that I really desire, and it wasn't there anymore for me. But you showed me that was possible again. So it was very special for me.
Thank you so much for sharing that again. I can feel the depth of how that touched you, and also the those pathways or those signals that we close down, or that we close down, that we stop listening to because of whatever information is coming from our environment, our human environment. Um, and then when we're presented in fields where no, actually it is possible, and those signalings or those information streams begin to open again, and then also the grief of like, oh my God, this has been possible all along. And so the grief of that loss, and then the meeting of the possibility that it's still here and it's so available, and I so deeply want to connect in this way, because we can all do it.
Yeah. And that's, I think, what many people don't really get. That is actually our nature, be able to connect. And I'm sure we all have different gifts. But I think this is how we are supposed to live. uh, in connection with the rest of living beings. So you were saying that you learned basically growing up with animals, and nature was very present for you when you were growing up, and then you lost it and you find it again. And so now you do this, not that you talk to tree professionally, but this type of work, energy work. I don't even know how to call it, somatic work. I don't know. Telepathy, maybe. You do it professionally, right? And so did you have other teachers? Did you go to other schools? Was like you did learn in South Africa?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have this beautiful teacher that I've been studying with for the last 6 years now, and we haven't necessarily honed in on animal communication or interspecies communication. It's more just been what's been blossoming in that space, which has been absolutely incredible to have a teacher that can go to those places together and showing me things, and it's just so incredible. But also for me, the biggest thing here coming to South Africa has been learning directly from the land and the creatures on the land. When I first arrived here to South Africa 6 years ago now, my first night here, I had a dream, and this black rhino came so strongly in this dream, and into my heart, and she said to me, I welcome you onto this land. If you ever feel like you need any support, or you feel like you don't belong in the country, anyone tells you that you don't belong here, you just say you're walking with me. You're walking with Black Rhino.
Wow. That's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I still feel that so much, like that experience of walking with her and just talking about it now. I feel that presence of the rhino, and the energy of the collective energy of that species. And so I was feeling her, and then I've been learning with the different creatures on the land as I've been living here.
And I know it's hard to describe sometimes, but I know there are kind of words that can help. So how does this communication comes to you? So you were saying, for example, with your dog, you could actually hear it, and you could hear words and you could see images. So I know there are clairs, which is how basically intuition can talk with us, through us. And one of the most, famous names is clairvoyant, which are people usually that can actually see images, and they can communicate with either spirits or nature, animals, or other people like that. They have intuition through those images. There is also clairsentient, which is more about feelings in the body that also are messages. Clairaudience, you can actually hear words, and claircognizant, I think that's a very difficult word for me. When you just know things, but you don't know why you know them. And I'm sure there are others. There is taste, smell, and things like that. And I think I experienced all of them. The strongest for me are, at least it was the clair knowing, claircognizant. I just knew things, but I didn't know why I knew things. It was very confusing. And also clairaudience. So I could actually hear things. And that I turned it off a little bit, because at the beginning that I didn't know what it was. When I started to heal and actually activate those clairs again, it was very scary, because before going to bed, I could actually hear words next to my ears, and it was very scary. So now that is not that available anymore, but I can feel things in my body now, also thanks to the work that I'm doing with Gabriel. And so I was wondering how it is for you. I guess all of your clairs are open, but if there is any stronger for you, or different species communicate in different ways, if there is a way to explain it.
Mm, I absolutely love the way that you just explained this. And also, I just want to take a moment, because I feel this is really important, and especially when it comes to this kind of communication, because we are continuously speaking with our bodies. So as you and I are communicating at the moment, and also the people who are listening to this, we are all in this communication stream. So as you were sharing this, you were actually opening those fields. I don't know if you noticed.
I felt that it was very important to mention, and so it was like in a flow in saying these things, but I couldn't. Now that you tell me, I could actually perceive some opening, but I think I just really felt strongly the need to say these things.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful, because that information then is also available to anyone who is listening. So you can tune into which one you are more aligned with, if it is the clairaudient, clairsentient, and how that shows up in your body. But for me, so I have something called synesthesia, where all my senses blend. So they kind of just dance together. And it took a long time to understand. And I'm still learning how to decode myself. Because I understand, or I feel the world in a particular way, which again I think also is our natural way, that we blend senses. but some people have that more open than others. And for me, it was very much some people, when we grow up, the survival the survival of our being is to leave this, to close it down, because that's the most intelligent response, to actually say go into the mind and more be intellectual and not feel the body so much. And for me, it was more really coming in and staying in touch with these senses, because that's what was most important to me and made me feel really safe and here in the world.
Yeah.
But mhm.
Yeah, I don't have synesthesia. I heard about it. It's basically, just to explain it for people that might have not heard this before. They can always do their researches, but it's like, for example, for you, a smell has a specific color, right? You smell
Yes,
roses, but the color that comes to mind is yellow for some reason. Okay.
exactly, exactly, exactly like that. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, and I think it's beautiful if you are an artist, because you can
Mm,
actually paint or do other things with this gift. I think it's very beautiful. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. So when I work with people in this, and people come to me and they want to open up this space. So we all, like we were saying now, we all have different ways of communicating with animals or with plants. And so what I do is I help people then to come into themselves and begin to open up the channels that are most easily available for them. And so it's basically, in essence, it's like having the body mind start to feel safe enough to speak in its own language, and that we are here and we're listening deeply together, so that on its own begins to send safety signals to the body that, hey, there's someone here, it's cool, we can begin to open up this space again. Just had a bird that landed on the window. Hi, blessing us with her presence. Ah, that's so beautiful. Yeah, and so through the presence and attunement with the person that I'm with, so with you right now, if we would do something together, it would be the presence and attunement to your being, where we would guide the space into deeper states of life um, than you might have experienced before. So, like we had with the trees.
Nice. I think we could do something like that if you are up for it. So,
Absolutely.
kind of give an idea of what we are talking about and what you do and what your husband does, which I think is very similar, but I can really feel different energies from you. You're doing in different ways. And I just want to start saying, then when I had a session with you, but honestly, even just when you were talking the first time that you came into the group, but talking about the session specifically, I just, it's hard. So I'll try maybe to post a video or something, because it's hard just with audio. But it seems like nothing is really happening. But if people really tune in and attune, and just everything is happening, because I start to cry and feel very emotional and start to feel things. And I think it comes from presence, really, your attention to me, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes, exactly. It's like when we receive that presence, it's like that container gets created and that attunement gets created, so that actually what the mainstream world is missing is access to these deeper states. So it's really about supporting people to find these internal maps again. And so that they can feel again the resonance that is inside, and the resonance with whoever we are communicating with. It's an internal experience. And it's like you say, it's at first it seems like nothing much is happening. And then we begin to slow down and unfold the present moment, and more rawness starts to reveal itself. And it's like those odes inside, they're little jewels that suddenly poof, they start to come alive. But it's not necessarily a big Instagram post thing that's really, you can see it, because it's all happening on the inside. And it's such a different way of attuning to ourselves.
Yeah, is what I believe people say in books, like the present moment, be in the present. And I experience different things with a lot of work that I've done, for example, with meditations and things like that. But this hits kind of differently, also because I'm not alone in my experience. There is someone that is witnessing me and kind of guiding me through. Specifically to me. So, and it's more, I think, about the body more than the mind. The mind, it is involved, but I think the body is the main character here.
Exactly. So it's in some ways teaching the mind how to begin to tune towards the body in a really kind and sweet way of listening again, so that the mind can start to perceive a little bit. And then it can't perceive certain things, and then it's just a body experience. But turning the mind towards the body experience, and allowing the body to have the experience that it's having.
Yeah, is under the umbrella of, I'm just trying to explain as much as I can to people, but umbrella of somatic work, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
about the body is about really embodiment and integration in our system of all the knowledge that we might have, even if we study spirituality, whatever, like philosophy, like this is the part where you actually become who you're supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. We're coming into the felt sense of who we are. And that's obviously a journey that continues our entire life. And we just keep refining it, refining it, refining it. And that's what I think is the most fun in the world. It's like I have the best job ever, because it's such a creative process, because I never really come in with a plan. I'm just meeting the person where they are in the moment. And that meeting exactly where you are in this moment, that opens the most magical doorways.
Yeah.
And just I'm starting to tune towards that with you right now. I can see that you can feel that.
I can. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, and anyone who's listening as well, you can join in too, because this is a field that's open and available. So just be aware of what's happening in your body as you're going into this experience together with us. You're also part of this experience.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're just gonna arrive a little bit together, so that our bodies begin to come into more of a resonance again, and into that attunement together. And so just feeling the support for your back, and just really feeling where there's contact and what that actually feels like. Maybe there's more contact for the lower back, and what's that experience like? And just being slow and gentle, noticing your breath, how the breathing is here. Not trying to change or fix it, but just being curious about, how is my body breathing me right now? Knowing this is the perfect way for the body to breathe you in this moment, and then it will change in the next. Beautiful. That's it. Mm-hmm. Including the space that you're in. So just seeing if you can sit in yourself and also at the same time have that balance between your internal experience and sensing the room, orienting to where you are in time and space. It's kind of like saying to the universe, I'm here. This is my location. This is where the magic is happening. Isn't it beautiful? Uh-huh. And from this place, when we are starting to feel even more anchored in ourselves, we can actually begin to set an intention to just open up these pathways. And it's really, there's nothing really to do. It's just we imagine that it is open. This is possible because it is. And we just relax into the space together and meet whatever it is that comes up. And sometimes it helps, like with you last time, we were saying that it's beautiful to connect with the trees on the land. And so specifically tuning towards the trees. I don't know if you would like to do that again today or if you have something else.
No. I love that. I would love that. And as I mentioned before, it's harder for me to do it alone. So if I can use you to get to the trees.
Yeah. Well, we're creating this space together. So and it's the same thing. It's like when we come together like this, it's this magical space that gets created. And so it gets amplified. And so that's for the listeners as well. When we come together like this, it's amplified. It's like we're all listening into the same field. It's so beautiful. Kind of sending out our little tendrils to those trees and inviting that listening with no expectation. It's just introducing ourselves. Hey, I'm here. I would really love to connect with you guys. That's it. Beautiful. And then noticing what happens in your body as you go into that invitation. And whatever it shows is perfectly fine. So I would love to hear what you are noticing as we are opening up the space here.
So my body has softened when I share the intention to connect to the trees. I feel more relaxed. There was a bit of tension, kind of, I would describe it more like excitement or anxiety, which is to me same feeling.
Yeah.
And as soon as I had the intention, that disappeared.
Beautiful. And it also sounds like you met that tension and that excitement. So it was welcomed, not trying to change or fix it or make it into something else, more like being the bigger container for it.
Yeah.
That's it. Beautiful. And also, just to say this, this is quite a vulnerable space to go into. And so, really honoring that vulnerability that can show up in the system as well. Yeah, because it comes with a lot. If we haven't experienced it, yeah, it can be a lot of emotions there. hmm Yeah.
I feel a lot of tingling on my arms and chest
Mm-hmm.
is like I am connecting to something.
Yeah, beautiful. So we're connecting in deeper with the body and the body sensations, and then the invitation of the connection with the trees in this particular case. That's it. Beautiful. Just did you feel that little shift that happened there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the system beginning to open at its own pace. So we really emphasis here is it's a slow, gentle process and allowing the body to have its own rhythm in this opening and allowing it to meet whatever it is that comes up as we are exploring this space. Nice. And how's your heart here?
Is opening.
Mm-hmm.
Was accelerating a little bit and now is calm again.
Beautiful. Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of deep listening into this kind of silence that is so rich.
I feel so much, but I cannot really talk much.
Yes, beautiful. And so when we also have that experience when we feel so much, but we can't really talk so much, we just want to slow down a little bit, maybe just include a little bit of a movement, just a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, nice. And being allowed to not have to talk so much. It's like I can just be here and listen. I can just be here and receive. I can receive.
I feel how the trees or nature in general is so ready to connect.
Mm-hmm.
Really reaching out all the time. That's
That's beautiful.
yeah.
I love that. So when you say that nature is reaching out, how do you sense that? We were talking about flares before. How do you sense this, that nature is actually coming closer to you? And it feels like she's very slow and gentle, slowly approaching, pacing herself.
I feel the warmth in my arms and chest, and I think it started with the tingling,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of see almost yeah, the energy, I don't know, the aura or come towards me to touch m- my energy field.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. I love that. So coming to touch your energy field. Yeah, so just receiving that touch as much or as little as you want. Just receiving it. That's it. Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. is really peaceful.
Yeah, can feel that. Yeah, and how it's bathing your system with that peacefulness.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, the trees or nature is calming me down.
Mm, beautiful. Yeah, so this in our work terms would be you're coming into co-regulation with nature. Or that beautiful slowing down into our own organic, natural rhythm and in connection with our own nature. And through that with the greater nature. And it's so rejuvenating just to be allowed to have time and space to just be in this peacefulness, in this communication, and not have to do anything. It can just be like you were talking about when you were little. You could just be for hours because this is what she's creating for us. This is what she's opening up in our bodies and blessing us with.
And I really keep receiving this message. It's like a thought, but the the trees are always here. Always, whenever I want to connect, they're always here. That's what they're here for.
Mm, beautiful. And just feel your body's response to that wisdom. They're always here to connect. What happens in your body when you receive that message?
It's like it's opening up even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful. And so the magic that happens here and why it's easier together is because I'm witnessing you here and I'm validating what you're experiencing and I can feel you here. And because I can feel you here, your body goes, oh, wow, okay, I think this is safe. I
Yeah.
think this is possible. Someone else is also experiencing this.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yeah, so this is always available. So
Yeah.
it's also kind of the greater message of the trees as well. So they're always wanting to connect with us. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Nice. And that connection is like nectar for our being.
Yeah.
Just like you now, your body is like opening up, and just the way that it looks looking at you. There's more color on your skin, your shoulders just dropped, your breathing is deeper. Very physical signs of coming deeper into yourself.
Beautiful. I can stay here for hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's cool because as we visit these places, they become more and more available to us. And so this time is also different from last time when we met. There's different flavors that are opening up this time.
Totally.
Because you started to open other places, and now it's your body knows how to go there, and then it opens different layers.
Yeah. It's more familiar.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first few times it was shocking.
Yes, exactly. And that's why we go slow together. It's beautiful. So let's thank the trees here for inviting us into the space and helping to co-create this space, and knowing that we don't need to leave it. It's always available when we want to connect in here. Always available. And kind of reassuring any parts in ourselves that's like, I don't know if I will be able to connect again.
I feel like and almost see kind of recalling my energy back.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And I love how you're noticing all these different things. Beautiful awareness.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know, this is. Mm-hmm. I love this. I love this so much. And it's like I never really have a plan. I really always follow what's being presented in the moment, because the body nature will always show. So that's why it's such a creative process into the unknown. So sometimes, it's a little nerve-wracking. It's like, okay, what's gonna happen? But it's so creative. You really have to be on your own creative edge.
Yeah, and I think it really teaches you how to live life, like
Mm-hmm.
navigating the unknown one step at a time. So for me, this work has been really life-changing for this reason as well. I was someone that, well, in the last few years, I took a lot of leaps of faith, but I still struggle with the unknown many times. And I think this work really helped me, like, just try to go with the flow, like less resistant to life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we're practicing. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's just so beautiful. I just wanted to share, because as we were in the space together, so many, and there's still one here now, so many little weaver birds arrived, and they're this beautiful yellow birds, and they build these beautiful nests. And so they come here because I've left part of my garden wild, and they come here because I have really long grass. Which they weave their nests with. And so many just arrived as we started to drop into the space together.
Oh, I love these things. And yeah. And it's funny because I didn't get into that because I wasn't sure. But while I was connecting to the trees, almost the message was, next time you can connect with birds. That's what I didn't say it, but you see, now that you're confirming me this, like I feel, oh, maybe there was actually a message there for me. And this is what my my mind has been blowing since I started to do this job. The fact that I feel things in my body, and I always felt them, but I thought it was nothing important. But when you or Gabriel says something that I feel in the moment that I am feeling it, that is what blows my mind. Like, it means you really actually feel me.
Yeah.
It's possible. And
Yes.
and so that's, yeah, like my heart is racing, it was calming down. Or I remember the other time that we met, he said, "Oh, can we include your belly? Because something is happening there." And I kind of had a stomach ache the whole morning, like you actually felt that.
Mm-hmm.
And to me is crazy. And I think I've been feeling probably people like that all my life, but I didn't know if it was mine, if it was theirs. I didn't know they could feel me. So for me, sharing these things on the podcast is also to help people realize that these things are possible. And the easiest way also to explain it is almost like telepathy, isn't it? Like, yeah.
Yeah, because we come into resonance together. And so it's like all of our systems begin to communicate with each other. And these communication ways that are always there's always streams of information happening between us, but they become, we become aware of them in a different way.
Yeah.
And when we become aware of it, then things start to flow in a way that's really interesting.
Wow. Yeah. And I think for me is a confirmation of, things that I've been feeling all my life, but I couldn't actually explain. And I know we don't use much words here, but someone that says feeling the same things that I'm feeling, like, it's been the biggest blessing for me, honestly. And really realizing also that you can do it too, like everyone can. And I'm sure some nervous systems, they're more um prone to that, and others that maybe is not as natural, but everyone can. And I was also thinking that if people really start to feel in this way anymore, like you can actually just read people. It doesn't matter. um you don't need to prove yourself to anyone anymore if people actually can feel you and read you like this. And I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of problems in the Western society started because you needed to prove that you're worthy of being here, or that you're a good person or whatever. But if people can actually read you, like there is, is you can just relax and be yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, so what we're doing is we are coming closer and closer to the actual experience of the moment, the felt sense of what's happening right now, the feeling state that is here in this moment. And then when someone over time also feels us in that way, it's like, oh my God, okay, yeah, wow, they can really feel me.
It is
And
great.
it gets more and more refined. Now all the birds are here again.
Oh, so cute.
I love that they came in to confirm the message that you received and that I trusted to say, all these birds just arrived.
Oh, good. I wanted to ask you also this one more thing. If you feel comfortable answering, but like, so the work with Gabriel is also was very life changing for me because he was able to understand me in a way that not even my parents can. He could really understand my energy and my gifts and my things that I can work on to, improve, let's say. So, what would you say, if you can, about my energy? Is there anything that stood out? Um, Anything that you feel like sharing?
Hmm, beautiful. So, like right now, for example, if we just slow down together. So, I'm feeling the vulnerability in what you just shared. Like, what did you experience with me? What did you feel? What did you sense? I'm feeling the vulnerability, and the actual, for me, it's like a sense of femininity and sensuality that is coming into the space, like a softness or a gentle joy around it, almost like a little more of a revealing of of you that I get to meet in this moment, which is an absolute gift. That your system, your body, your soul feel safe enough to show more of yourself in this meeting together. That's really, really touching for me to feel. Mm-hmm.
Being seen has been the hardest things for me. There was, and still a little bit, a lot of fear of being seen um, for who I truly am, the one that talks about this weird stuff and, is into this weird stuff and all the judgment that comes from it, from society. So, yeah, thank you for that. And this work is really helping me feeling more comfortable being seen.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. I love it. And if you feel comfortable enough, I would love to just build on that a little bit. Just feel who you are in this moment as we are in this space together. And you shared about this, that it's always been a little scary to feel seen or be seen. And the way that you're allowing yourself to be seen right now, just who you are here, how you access yourself, how you feel your body. Yeah. Hmm.
I access myself through the heart. The heart is really present right now.
Hmm. Beautiful. So, hello, beautiful heart. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. We're so happy you're here. Thank you for being here. Hmm. And this is really what we're all longing for, that someone can feel and perceive us at these levels.
Yeah.
And what a gift it is when we do come together and we sense in this way. And it really is about that cultivation of our own internal experience, the attunement to ourselves, so that we can, from that place, attune to another, to feel where they are at. So, right now, with this beautiful heart that we all get to experience, I'm sure everyone who's listening can also feel in some ways how you could, like when I feel it, it's like the whole energy field around us shifts. It's like it becomes a little bit more colorful or vibrant. There's just a little bit more aliveness and softness and, yeah, color.
Yeah. And I really feel the connection with you. I feel you feeling me.
Hmm. Yeah, beautiful.
Mm.
And that's a big piece. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's huge when we're able to, I feel you feeling me, because then there's a different feedback loop between us that are being established.
Yeah.
And you can feel here also, so I'm just taking us into a little bit of a deeper state again, and just so that we kind of went there with the trees, and this is a different flavor, and these states, they go in waves, and we want to pendulate, so we don't just want to be also in the deep state all the time if our system are not used to it. So we pendulate, so we go into it and then we go out of it, and we go into it and we go out of it, and through that going in, going out, it's like all is well, we're doing good, it's really cool, we can do this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I could not really function if I'm always at this level, at least right now.
Hmm.
I would
Yeah.
stay still and be happy like this. Oh, yeah. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you can feel this is a different wave. And we're just starting to move out of this wave together as well, just to shift into transition into a different experience together. So that's also what I do with people is like I guide people into this and then help them to transition out into, let's just say, a lighter state, so that their body starts to learn how to go in and to go out, just like breathing.
Yeah.
Because we need different states. It's not that one state is better than the other. They're all different, and they all have their richness and wisdom and fun and joy and emotionality. And then we just want to acknowledge the heart and just acknowledge her, that we're not leaving her.
I'm laughing. That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna leave this space at some point.
Yeah, so when we go into these deeper spaces, we can touch into younger material. And so we just want to let her know that we're always here. You're not alone. We're not leaving you. We're just shifting states.
It was really a heartache. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I felt when you said that. Like, when you break up with someone, kind of that pain in the chest. Because
Yeah.
I think I was afraid of shifting,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
losing.
Exactly. 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 And just feel we just slow down because we're transitioning together, and everyone who's listening, we're all transitioning together. Mm-hmm. And just honoring your body exactly where it is. It knows exactly what to do. Yeah, including some movement, some gentle stretching. Yeah, we're alive, made it. We're here, we get to play.
Uh,
hmm And how the heart, when acknowledged in that way, like we just did, how it settles down again. hmm
there is still a lot of energy here for me.
hmm
Like when I connected with the trees, it was total peace and quiet. Now it's really more maybe activated or energized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it's also, we were talking about being seen. And so definitely it will touch in with any activation or energizing states. And so important for the body to know and to almost like have a reality check. Now I got deeply seen, I got deeply felt, and because it wasn't available in the past, the environment couldn't provide that in that way for whatever reason. No blame. That right now in this moment, it was safe, I survived, it felt good. I'm in my room, I'm okay. And that's really important for the body to know at a biological level.
Yeah. Okay. This feels like now it feels more settled, uh,
hmm
calmer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can see we're speaking to these different layers in the body, and that's why it's so individual. That everyone has this unique way of being in the world. We all come in with these incredible gifts, and so being able to tune to your being or that person's being, or it's magical.
It is. It really is. Like this is better than I could have ever imagined when I was a kid. Like I didn't. So like I feel in Harry Potter school. Ah,
Amazing.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's such a such a blessing, such a joy to share this space and to experience this together. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been my absolute pleasure.
I mean, I'm very, very grateful. Really. Thank you. I don't have many words, but I hope people can feel my gratitude and openness, and I hope you can feel it too.
Can definitely. My heart is totally receiving that. That feels beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think we can close this episode. Is there anything else that you feel like saying or want to share? Anything at all?
Hmm. I just really have this beautiful feeling in my body of how important this work is really of because it really brings us into ourselves, into that connection, and how we all have it available. This communication with ourselves, with nature, with each other, it is always there. It's learning to come into to touch with those places again within ourselves. And more as we're doing that, it becomes easier because as all of us are learning, the collective field is learning faster and faster as well, because it's like, oh yeah, it's really safe to begin to communicate in this way again. Okay, cool. Duh.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I totally agree with that. And it makes me very happy to know. And yeah, this work really changed my life, my family life as well, even if indirectly, because while I was doing this work, of course, like I started to talk about it and kind of attune more to my husband or my stepkids. And it's just, I can see the shifts in them.
mm,
Doesn't
mm.
life is going to be always easy or anything like that. It's just a different way of connecting to each other and a different way of being aware of what we are feeling, and yeah, really attune to what's happening.
Exactly like that. I love the way you put words to it.
Thanks. Well, thank you again, Natvienna.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for listening, and I'll see you at the next episode. Bye, everyone.